Good morning. I chose to sit where at some point I will be sitting more regularly. I haven't moved the big table into this area yet, but I have moved the love seat. By the way, welcome to the channel, Gray Cloudy Day. I'm Gray Cloud, sage of the eternal moment. And trying to get a video up and going a little earlier. This is going to be a reading video. I'm going to do a Jesus Always today. But I also have some other ideas for potential things later in the day if I can get around to it. So we're going to share a little bit of Jesus Always, the actual reading for today. It's August 14th. I don't know if I need my glasses. I will restore you the joy of my salvation. When you confess your sins to me with a humble heart, I gladly forgive you. But there is more. I restore you. The salvation of your soul is the source of inexpressible and glorious joy. I want you to experience once again the rich, deep pleasure of a close relationship with me. I desire to be your first love. Yeah, God does. The big kahuna wants to be your best friend, you know. Many people and things compete for your attention, so keeping me first in your heart requires diligence. You have developed ways of seeking me that are familiar and easy for you. But the danger of relying too much on routine is that it can become a tedious duty. When you realize this has happened, you need to stop and try something new. Remember who I am, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Creator, Sustainer of this vast, awesome universe. Take extra time to worship and adore me before bringing me your other prayers and petitions. This will awaken your heart to my glory and to the joy of my presence. And what stuck out was that line right here. You have developed ways of seeking me that are familiar and easy for you. And then the next line, but the danger of relying too much on routine is that it can become a tedious duty. And that spoke volumes to me. Because he goes on to say, you know, when you realize this has happened, you need to stop and try something new. Well, we know that if you've been watching me for a little while, then you would remember, you know, I don't know, depending on who you are and how regularly you've watched, a little over a month ago, maybe even a month and a half ago. Yeah, it's going on 2 months now, but it's about 6 weeks ago, I guess. I had issues start happening with my shoulder and then my arm, and I hadn't got it taken care of yet. And then I kind of went into a little bit of a darkness, what we call a dark night of the soul. I had realized I knew I'd been through certain journeys in my life that were considered, or I could consider a dark night of the soul, but this was a recent one. And now that I've been coming out of, or that I've came out of that dark place that I went through for a little while, certain things are just sticking out, and I'm really enjoying to have a little more clarity than I've had in a long time. Like I said, during the first few weeks, I was really realizing that I might have been kind of asleep, you know, kind of half sleepwalking, half conscious through the past few years. So that's been nice to be more aware of things than I had been, or I feel like I was fooling myself. I was thinking I had been aware and I was losing my awareness until here recently. Okay, guys, I ain't trying to bore you or anything. The reference scriptures are Psalm 51, verse 12, 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 8 through 9, Revelation 2, verse 4, and then John 17, verse 24. And, you know, I didn't I've done read several things this morning, and at the last minute, I read this one last, and it just spoke out to me because, like I said, I do try to keep a routine, but I feel like this is telling me when everything shifted up during that dark night of the soul period, and I came back and got back on track. Well, I've started doing a lot of other, like some days I might read Jesus Always. Some days I read to you guys less of this. I do read it to myself. I check it out. Or it's either it's a hit or miss. You know, it's kind of like I'm reading from the Fifth Agreement, Jesus Calling sometimes. But I've mixed it up. And I feel like this is telling me that, hey, but that's kind of how I was guided to just start doing things a little bit differently so that it stays fresh for me when I'm creating and trying to do things for the channel. Plus, I'm just naturally inclined to want to explore other things and read a lot of different stuff. Okay, shut up, Gray Cloud. I think that ends it. I think that wraps it up. I think that's about enough. I didn't want this to be too long anyway. So, thanks for watching. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And until next time, Mr. Gray Cloud, about to go take a walk. Sage of that eternal moment there. Over and out. Ditto means I love you guys.